Today on TFL EV, you join me in sunny California to take a first look at the Mercedes-Benz EQE. The EQE is the second vehicle to run on Mercedes-Benz EVA2 premium electric vehicle platform, and because of that, it shares a lot in common with the EQS. However, this car is more compact than the EQS. Its wheelbase is 3.5 inches shorter, and if you think about the Mercedes-Benz nomenclature, EQE is more or less to the E-Class what EQS is to the S-Class. So this is smaller, but it packs a lot of the same tech. At launch, the EQE will initially be available in this 350 model, and that gets you 288 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque from a single rear-mounted electric motor. At 288 horsepower, the EQE isn't exactly a rocket ship, but 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds and a top speed of 130 miles per hour. So as Tommy would say, it's not exactly a wheelbarrow. And if you want a very high performance version of the car, there is an AMG model coming down the line with 677 horsepower and 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. We expect to see the AMG model later this year. One advantage of the non-AMG version of this EQE is that this will be able to squeeze about 410 miles of range out of its 90.6 kilowatt hour battery. The AMG model is likely to be closer to 300 miles of range, so this will definitely maximize how far you can go on a single charge. And for recharging, if you go to a 110 kilowatt fast charger, you'll be able to go from 10 to 80% charge in 31 minutes according to Mercedes-Benz. If you plug into a level 2 charger, like what you would set up on a wall charger at your house, it will take 9.5 hours to go from 10 to 100%. So that means if you get home after a day of driving, plug it in the evening, and wake up in the morning, your car will be charged. The EQE is also available with 4.5 to 10 degrees of rear wheel steering to make this car surprisingly maneuverable for its size. And you can see the wheel moving back and forth here. That is in fact the rear wheel. The front wheel is turning as well. It's pretty cool. The exterior styling of this car is very similar to the EQS, and this design is all about aerodynamics. This car has a very low drag coefficient of 0.22, so it is very slippery, and that helps maximize your range. And a lot of these details, like having a badge right behind the A-pillar, and even the style of the door handles, this overall shape of the car is all very similar to the EQS. One notable difference is that this trunk is not a hatchback like the EQS, it's a standard sedan style trunk. Of course, stepping inside of the EQE, you get tons and tons of luxury driver assistance and technology standards. So if we hit the start button, this fires up the optional 56-inch hyperscreen, just like what's available in the EQS. They also managed to squeeze it into the EQE, and this is just a spectacular amount of technology. If you are a big fan of having a lot of different tech features, you really will have a hard time finding anything better than what you get in this car and the EQS. And in terms of fit and finish, it is spectacular. The materials being used here, the metal that's on the steering wheel, all of these buttons that you interact with, the fit and finish is amazing. You also have a Burmeister audio system that is highly customizable. And let's go ahead and check out a few of these features on the screen. So you have more things than I know what to do with. Of course, a large navigation screen. The passenger has their own screen on which they can play different media, and if the driver looks over at the passenger screen while there's dynamic content like a video going on, the car will automatically shut that screen off so that the driver stays alert and won't get distracted. You also have an augmented reality navigation system and just a crazy amount of cutting edge stuff that you really won't find in a lot of other vehicles. You can also go through and look at a lot of information about the car itself. So this right here is some of your suspension settings. You even get to see the angles that the car is sitting at. You can go and look at information about the electric drive system, It's a spectacular screen. It's responsive, it's sharp, and it lets you do a lot. But I will say, not being much of a tech guy, you might be able to tell that I'm just a little bit lost with it, especially not having spent a lot of time with this car. There's so much to dive into here and so many different things that you can do with this car, and it gives you just an incredible amount of information. If I zoom out here, you can see different charging stations on this map, and it even tells you how quickly some of these stations are able to charge your car, how many stations are available here. You can calculate routes based on where charging stations are, and it will tell you how much power you're going to have when you arrive, how much you need to charge to get to your next station. So any amount of technology that you can think of or possibly want is all here. The EQE is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to technology, and if you're looking for some of the most advanced EV anything out there, this should definitely be on your list of vehicles to drive. And again, if you want the more high performance variant, keep your eyes peeled, because we expect the EQE AMG variant with 677 horsepower to be revealed later this year.